Deep words of wisdom from Marcus Aurelius. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, therefore, guard accordingly, and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Nothing happens to any man that he is not formed by nature to bear. Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight. I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinions of himself than on the opinions of others. Look back over the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future, too. The universe is transformation, life is opinion. Everything that happens happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will find this to be so. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? Life is neither good or evil, but only a place for good and evil. Here is the rule to remember in the future, when anything tempts you to be bitter, not, "This is a misfortune," but to bear this worthily is good fortune. Such as are your habitual thoughts, such also will be the character of your mind, for the soul is dyed by the thoughts. Let men see, let them know, a real man, who lives as he was meant to live. Adapt yourself to the things among which your lot has been cast, and love sincerely the fellow creatures with whom destiny has ordained that you shall live. Execute every act of thy life as though it were thy last. Poverty is the mother of crime. Confine yourself to the present. Perhaps there are none more lazy, or more truly ignorant, than your everlasting readers. Anger cannot be dishonest. Because a thing seems difficult for you, do not think it impossible for anyone to accomplish. A man should be upright, not be kept upright. Death is a release from the impressions of the senses, and from desires that make us their puppets, and from the vagaries of the mind, and from the hard service of the flesh. Let not your mind run on what you lack as much as on what you have already. Where a man can live, he can also live well. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. That which is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bees. Our life is what our thoughts make it. The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. Nothing has such power to broaden the mind as the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under thy observation in life. Time is a sort of river of passing events, and strong is its current. No sooner is a thing brought to sight than it is swept by, and another takes its place, and this too will be swept away. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. Anything in any way beautiful derives its beauty from itself and asks nothing beyond itself. Praise is no part of it, for nothing is made worse or better by praise. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Each day provides its own gifts. Do every act of your life as if it were your last. Because your own strength is unequal to the task, do not assume that it is beyond the powers of man, but if anything is within the powers and province of man, believe that it is within your own compass also. Tomorrow is nothing, today is too late, the good lived yesterday. Begin. To begin is half the work, let half still remain, again begin this, and thou wilt have finished. Observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom thyself to consider that the nature of the universe loves nothing so much as to change the things which are, and to make new things like them. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up, if thou wilt ever dig. To the wise, life is a problem, to the fool, a solution. Natural ability without education has more often raised a man to glory and virtue than education without natural ability. To refrain from imitation is the best revenge. A noble man compares and estimates himself by an idea which is higher than himself, and a mean man, by one lower than himself. The one produces aspiration, the other ambition, which is the way in which a vulgar man aspires. Despise not death, but welcome it, for nature wills it like all else. How much time he saves who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks. We ought to do good to others as simply as a horse runs, or a bee makes honey, or a vine bears grapes season after season without thinking of the grapes it has borne. Life of Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius, April 26, 121, March 17, 180, whose full name was Marcus Aurelius Antoninus Augustus. He was the last emperor of the Roman Empire in the era of the 5 good emperors. He held the title of Caesar and reigned from 161 to 180. He was known as the Philosopher Emperor. Marcus Aurelius was one of the greatest emperors of the Roman Empire and a famous Stoic philosopher. His reign is considered to mark the Golden Age of Rome. He was not only a very wise monarch, but also a very accomplished thinker. His work Meditations on Stoic Philosophy, written in Greek, was handed down to the world. Welcome to subscribe to my channel. Luck and love are with you.